this. You've got to take massive action and decide today you're okay with the unknown. Hey Eric, how you doing, man? Two things for you that I'm thinking about is, all right, sounds good, Ian. We'll talk to you later. Talk soon. So right now I'm just going through and I'm answering some questions that my coaching students bring to me. I coach a few people one-on-one or in small groups, and one of the things I like to use is this app called Voxer. Voxer allows you to send voice messages back and forth. So once a day in the mornings, I go through and I answer questions from my coaching clients. I love helping people do their first deal. One of the things I'm always telling my clients and my friends to do when they want to get started in real estate is stop asking what if questions and start asking what next questions, right? Big difference between the two, because you could get stuck in what if. What if the seller gets mad at my offer? What if I offer too much and the seller accepts my offer and then I get it under contract and I'm trying to sell it and I can't sell it because I've offered too much? What if I can't get the money to buy the house or the vacant lot? I mean, you could go in down 100 different directions and get real discouraged really quickly. So what I like to say is stop asking what if and start asking what next. Because again, what if could be like, what if a meteorite falls from the sky and crashes on this building that we're in right now? So you get stuck on this what if forever, and there will always be what ifs. If you wait until all of your I's are dotted and all your T's are crossed before you take any action, guess what? You're never going to get anywhere. You're always going to be stuck there. And I can relate because I was like that, man. I was a civil engineer, went to school, I was good at math, I was good at science, and I always liked math. I was good at calculus, and I liked it because there was always one answer to a problem, right? And there was always one solution to that answer. And there was always a formula that you had to take. And there was these steps, and you could get the thing solved using these same steps, and everybody had to use the same steps. There was always a simple, clean answer for everything. And then when I got into engineering, we were building large power plants, right? And we were getting these drawings that were like 2 or 3, 4 inches thick of all the underground utilities, the foundations, the structures, the electrical, mechanical, the plumbing, all of the finishes, the interior, and then all the equipment in there. So like you could see from beginning to end how everything is supposed to be built and how everything is supposed to be designed and constructed. And so you'd start at the beginning and you'd go to the end. Well, now when you start getting into real estate, and in any business really, you can take all those plans and throw them out the window. Why? Because you're in the people business. You're in real estate. Every deal is different. Every seller is different. You're not answering to a boss anymore. You're not hiring an architect or an engineer to draw out and plan everything for you in advance. There's different ways to make money. There's different ways to do real estate deals. There's different ways to start and run a business. And so there's a lot of variables out there, and you have to become comfortable or used to the unknown. You have to be confident enough to say, you know what? I don't have all the answers. I don't know all of the what ifs. Something bad may happen. I don't know exactly how this is going to turn out, but I'm okay with that. I'm going to just take one step at a time, and it's okay if I don't have all the answers. So when I'm coaching people, a lot of my job is just like, you know what? Don't worry about that yet. That's a good question, right? And I never come down hard on somebody for asking dumb questions because there are no dumb questions. Well, I mean, sometimes there are. But it's a coach's job to say, don't worry about that right now. Let's worry about that when you need to worry about it, okay? All you need to be focused on right now is this. And then after you do that, then let's do this. And after you do that, then let's do this. Because I get it, you know, in this game, there's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of like these things that you think you've got to get done right now. And some people are more engineering minded and some people are more artsy fartsy minded. Everybody's different. And so some people that are more engineering minded, they have to have everything laid out, and they have to have a solid business plan, and they have to have all of the options figured out and all the what ifs answers. So if you're like that, you're going to really have a hard time in this business. And that's the way I was when I first got started, until I stopped questioning everything and I started trusting the system. I said, all right, so I'm going to do what my coach says to do. He said to buy a list. I bought the list. And then I said, well, what next? What do I do next? The next thing is you send postcards to that list. I said, all right. So I sent the postcard. I didn't question the postcard. I didn't stop asking, well, should it be yellow or white? Should I use blue ink or black ink? Let me do some research and then dive down this rabbit hole of like, well, what happens if I use red ink versus black ink? What happens if I use yellow, handwritten yellow letters or black, boring postcard letters, right? Where's the difference in that? So you could go into like, what if I use this color? What if I use that color? What if I use letters and postcards and start analyzing it? So I finally said, I'm just going to stop asking the what if and just start doing it. Just make a decision, right? So for me, that was a big deal. And I said, I'm just going to do this. And then I did it. And then I said, okay, what next? And he said, do this. And I said, okay, what next? After you send the postcards, they start calling. And then what? Well, should I have a Google Voice or should I use my cell phone? Should I have a mailing address at my house? Should I have a UPS store or a P.O. box? I said, I'm just going to do what the guy says to do. So I started taking massive imperfect action and I started seeing success. I started seeing success when I was okay with making mistakes and I knew I would figure it out as I went along. I knew I'm gonna take massive, this is the key here, massive imperfect action. I became okay with making mistakes. I became okay with not knowing what if all my things were laid out ahead of me. Because again, every deal is different. Every seller is different. No two deals are ever the same. And you get a deal under contract and something's going to come up in title. Something's going to come up where the seller gets nervous or your buyers get scared about something and then you think you have a good deal and it turns out to not be that good of a deal. There turns out to be some title issues or whatever, right? So one of the things that I love about doing this business and I'm coaching clients is like, stop worrying about the what ifs and just focus on what next. So the example could be then, don't worry yet about where the money's going to come from. Don't worry yet about how the contracts work. Do you need an LLC or not? Do you need a website or not? Do you need business cards and logos? That'll take care of itself. Let's worry about the first thing. Let's keep the first things first. First thing is, let's pick a good market. That's all we need to worry about. Okay, we got some markets. Then you can get stuck into this. Well, I got 20 counties to choose from. I have 20 zip codes to choose from. I can go into this market or this market or this market. And then you start analyzing it to death. Well, let's just pick one. Let's pick one. Okay, let's pick two then. If you really want to pick more than one, let's go to two. Then what next? As quickly as we can get to the what next, all right? After we pick our markets, good, let's go download a list. Should I download a list from this service or this service or this service or this one, right? Forget about it. Just pick one. Let's go right now. Pick one. Pick one. We pick one and we download the list. Do you see what I'm going here with this? And then we download that list. Well, should we send a postcard or a letter? What if this postcard doesn't work? What should I send them to a website? Should I send them to a phone number? Just pick one and go for it. So we're going to send a postcard to this list, and we're going to send them to a voicemail, and then we're going to listen to the voicemails. We're going to send them a call. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm just talking about like one thing at a time, and then let's not worry about those other things. Let's get this done, and then move on to the next thing. So it starts with picking your market. It starts then, next step is downloading a list. The next step is sending marketing to them. Then the next step is to process the incoming leads and then send offers. And then that's another huge thing. That could be a whole other topic on its own, like all of these what ifs. What if the property doesn't have access for vacant land? What if it doesn't have, what if it's a swamp land, whatever. We're just making offers. The goal is to make 2 offers a day, 3 offers a day. So all we need to focus on is making offers. And then when we get it under contract, if they accept our offer, that can be when we do our due diligence. All right, once we do our due diligence, we decide we want to buy it. Then, we put it out there on the market. We see if anybody's going to be interested in it or not. And then when we find people that are interested in the deal, we sell it and all of that. Okay, there's all these things that are happening in a deal. And if you're stuck at step 1, worrying about steps 7 and 8, you'll never get step 1 done. So whether you are, most of you all are in step 1 or step 2 right now, do not worry about steps 7 and 8. They will take care of themselves. So the students that I see that have the most success are okay with making mistakes. They're okay with massive imperfect action, but they're always moving forward, slowly, one step at a time. They're just saying, okay, Joe, I got the list. What next? What do I need to do now? Joe, I sent the postcards. Now what do I do? All right, Joe, good. I got the postcards. I'm starting to get leads coming in. What do I do now? I tell them how to look at the deal, how to make simple, fast offers in 5 minutes or less. Okay, Joe, I sent 20 offers today. What now? What do I do next? And you may not have a coach or a mentor. You maybe have a course, okay? I'd encourage you to not go through the entire course before you take any action. I'd encourage you, module 1, first video finished, go do what they just taught you to do. Don't worry about steps 2 or 3. Watch the next video, then go do it. Watch the next video. I can tell you this, the students that I see again that have the most success in my course, they've not even watched all the videos yet. They've only watched the first couple, 3 videos, and they're out there doing it. And then they figure out what to do next as the process happens. So this is a really important key to success, okay? Stop worrying about steps 7 and 8 before you start doing steps 1 and 2. Don't watch all of the videos and the modules in the course, okay? Sometimes, in my courses, I release them every week, and then somebody buys my course, and then 6 weeks later, they're finally watched the 6th module 6 weeks later, and then they're like, okay, now I'm ready to get started. Oh, that's such a waste of money. It's such a waste of time. And in fact, you probably won't have much success in this business if that's where you are. And I'm saying this because that's the way I was. And if you want to have success in this business, you've got to take massive action. And decide today you're okay with the unknown. Decide today that you just need to see the next step in front of you, and you're going to take massive action on that. That's when you will have success, all right? That's all I got for you. We'll talk to you soon in the next video. Thanks.